Inclusive marketing is the future of marketing. And because of that, inclusion needs to be baked into your marketing strategy starting today. The challenge is most brands don't know how to do that in an authentic way. That's where I come in. I'm Sonia Thompson, and through my speaking, writing, content, and programs, I've helped hundreds of thousands of people all over the world build a more inclusive brand that wins the attention, adoration, and loyalty of more consumers, especially those that most brands tend to ignore. One of the most common questions that I get is, how do I get started building an inclusive brand? Well, in today's video, we are going to walk through 4 ways that you can get started. Let's go. First up, reevaluate your buyer personas. Here are a couple of problems with buyer personas or customer avatars from an inclusivity standpoint. Most people create avatars that are pretty much just like them. They look like them, they talk like them, they have the same lived experience as them, and as a result, it ends up being a sea of sameness. And that sea of sameness sends a very clear signal to those who might have some sort of difference from that profile that you don't belong here. And that you don't belong here signal pushes people who could have been very loyal to your brand away. No bueno. Another problem with buyer personas is that many people don't have the specificity that's needed, and as a result, their profile defaults to the most privileged identities. So when a brand describes their ideal customer as all women or busy moms, that lack of specificity often results in the most privileged identities being presented and represented and being thought about from a marketing execution standpoint. So how do we fix these issues? Make a list of all the different types of people who have the problem that your brand solves, particularly from a demographic standpoint. There's age, there's gender, there's sexual orientation, there's race, nationality, ethnicity, there is body size, body type, there's skin color, complexion, languages spoken, where they are in the world, their geographic location, parental status, marital status, socioeconomic status, degree of ableness. There are a number of ways in which your customers can be different. A popular entrepreneur, Gary Vaynerchuk, has defined that his ideal customer includes people who speak multiple languages, not just English. So if you were to go to his Instagram account, you'll see that his execution from a marketing standpoint is very specific to cater to people who speak other languages. He's got an account in English, he's got an account in French, in Spanish, in Portuguese, in Chinese, in Polish. Thus, by being more specific, he can come up with tangible ways to ensure that he's reaching those customers. A second thing that you can do to build an inclusive brand is deepen your degree of customer intimacy. Have you ever had to buy a gift for someone you didn't know? Or have you ever received a gift from someone that it was just so bad or just so not right that it was obvious that they didn't know you well? Otherwise, they never would have gotten you that thing. The products, the services, and the experiences that you deliver to your customers are like gifts. The better we know the people who have the problem that our brand solves, the better equipped we will be to deliver products, services, and experiences or gifts to those people that they will love. Now, especially in recent years, there have been a number of brands who've decided that they want to engage diverse and underserved consumers, but they've struggled quite a bit. So much so that they've often had PR nightmares on their hands and have had to issue apologies. They just didn't get them quite right. Generally, whenever we see those types of things happening, where brands don't know how to engage diverse consumers in a way that they actually enjoy, it's because they have a customer intimacy problem. They are trying to deliver a gift to someone they don't know. And because they don't know them well, they're just kind of guessing and they make a lot of mistakes along the way. So what's the fix here? Build deeper relationships, especially with the customers who are different from you. Before we move on to our next point, be sure to let me know in the comments below if you've ever gotten a gift from someone who clearly didn't know you so well. A gift that you just kind of re-gifted, or you threw in the trash, or it's buried in the back of the closet. Drop the details in the comments below. All right, another thing that you can do to help you build a more inclusive brand is to establish a vision for the types of experiences that you want to deliver. Disney is known as the happiest place on earth. Now, this is totally by design. It doesn't happen by chance. Their mission for their theme parks is to create happiness. And because they're very clear on what their mission is and how they want people to feel, they are able to put processes and plans in place that extend throughout every touch point within that park to make sure that people feel the happiness, it radiates throughout them, and that they have the most wonderful time throughout their whole entire Disney experience. So take the time to write a vision for how you want your customers to feel as they are engaging with your brand. Once you define that, you can better put plans and policies in place that will help you deliver on that feeling throughout every touch point of every part of your customer journey. So here's a quick example from another brand. The Ritz-Carlton Hotel is also known for the wonderful experiences that they deliver over and over and over to the customers they serve. Their vision is to enliven their customers' senses. And one of the ways in which they do that is by empowering their team with $2,000 per customer per day that each of their team members have to delight the customers that they're serving or to fix a problem that they see isn't quite right. Now, that doesn't mean that a customer should be constantly looking to spend this $2,000 per person per day or that they have it in their pocket. It just means that they are empowered for whenever they see an opportunity to deliver an experience. They don't have to go and ask for permission to make it happen. They can go ahead and just get it done. And a fourth thing that you can do to get started building a more inclusive brand is to audit the customer experience that you are currently delivering. Once you defined how you want customers to feel as they're going through every aspect of your customer journey, then you can evaluate how well your existing experiences are living up to that vision that you have. Now, after the murder of George Floyd in 2020, there were a number of brands who really were trying to make a concerted effort to better speak to and serve diverse and underserved communities, in particular the Black community. Now, there was one influencer that I follow who had received some feedback around this time that she hadn't been doing the best job with her podcast of having a diverse slate of guest experts coming in to teach. Originally, whenever she heard this feedback, she told this story about how she was a little bit defensive because she felt like she had done a good job. But whenever she went back and counted and actually looked at the data of the number of diverse people she had on the guests and what percentage that was, she was actually quite appalled whenever she realized that the number was much lower than she thought it was. She wanted to make sure that her vision of how she wanted her customers to feel, she wanted them to feel included, she wanted them to feel like they belong. That meant having proper representation. She put policies in place that would make sure that her and her team could do what they need to do to make sure that they were able to have adequate, diverse representation with the guests on the show. You can do this. You can totally build an inclusive brand that wins the attention, the adoration, and the loyalty of diverse and underserved consumers. If you need some additional resources to help you get started building an inclusive brand, I've got you covered. Go to inclusivemarketing.co/starter kit and you can grab my inclusive marketing starter kit that will give you more actionable steps that you can take to get started building that inclusive brand. Now, if you like this video, go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to the channel. That way you can receive a new video on how to build an inclusive brand every week. Remember, everyone deserves to have a place where they belong. Let's use our individual and collective power to ensure that they do. Ciao for now, and we'll talk soon.